Welcome back to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and helping you find your path. We are here in Cafeteria Studio.
It's just the calf, I think.
Just the calf. This is our home for season 7, 6?
One of those.
Bro, we got a new home. This spot is dope. Come check it out for everything Connecticut, Hartford-based merch. It's a dope little shop right here, 229 Trumbull, right next to the XL Center downtown. Every Tuesday, come down at 6 o'clock and come vibe with us while we record too.
Ooh.
But what up is Mr. Brown Broken Guapo. Living the dream.
I haven't heard that in so long.
Last time you guys heard that, Guapo was not guapping. Guapo was...
Yo.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. What up, though?
Shit, chillin'. It's your boy Spence, King Aquarius. All my boys call me Mr. 20% now. I don't know if I'm ever going to live that down.
Can you explain?
Mr. 20%? You had to be there.
I think I have an idea, but... we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Is it the 80-20? I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there was a lot. So dope. I mean, y'all know how we start. We don't have a guest that we're interviewing today.
We just ain't do this in a minute. We wanted to get back to the people. We wanted to continue elevating from what we did last time. If you guys missed it, bro, that live event was crazy. By now, the episode will be live, so go to our YouTube and watch it. I got plans for that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. But yes, Lavish Luke did his thing on the videography and audio. So go check it out because it's fire. It's great. You guys missed out on. We packed out Samia Cafe. It was a great night. It
was dope. Some people said it was hosted by How'd I Get Here podcast and Casamigos.
No regrets.
No regrets.
So I got a question.
You're taking over the question today.
And this just popped in my mind, and I think we might have actually spoken about this before. You know J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez.
Jenny from the block.
Yep. She's on her 6th marriage.
Wait. Isn't she
back with Ben Affleck?
So that's included. That's counted as 6 because didn't they do that like 2 or 3 times?
Well, she had Ben Affleck once.
Mm-hmm.
She had some dancer dude. She had Mark Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
She had A-Rod, and now she's back with Ben Affleck again. So 5, I guess.
Okay.
5 that I could recollect on the top of my mind.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a miscellaneous one.
Right. Some guy that she made sign an NDA and paid to go quiet down. But she's had 5 marriages that we can recollect.
Mm.
If these are failed marriages, which that in itself is up for debate,
mm-hmm.
right? Who is to blame, her or the guys that she's dating? And I mean, granted, she's picking the guys, so maybe she's still to blame, but...
That's an interesting question. I don't think there's anything wrong with the failed marriage, quote unquote failed. So who's to blame?
Like, sis, you got married 5 times. Like, at what point, like...
But you got to think, like, you also got to think, too, she's like, look at the track record. Like, that's also an impressive lineup. Like...
No, I feel
these wasn't just some regular dudes.
Like, it wasn't me.
Ow. Brown, broken, ugly.
Guapo. But that's my thing. Like, isn't the goal to get married and stay married?
Yeah.
Like, why are these marriages failing? There's one common denominator is you. And, like, I wish there was a woman here to, like, give us her opinion. Like, oh, no, maybe she's not settling, or maybe she's, like... thinks she deserves better, but then sis, like,
why'd
stop
you spin
picking
the
these
block?
why you picking these trash ass dudes? Then? Maybe you need me. Maybe you need a little nigga with no money to go treat you right.
Nah, because if you look at all of the rocks that get put on her finger, it's like, it's different. Yeah, I don't. Man, listen, I'm not not one to talk about failed relationships, marriages, or any of that. I think people don't know and love themselves enough to then work out in like a healthy, cohesive relationship. A lot of people come from a position of lack and they employ the other person to make them feel good or make them happy when it's not really their job. And I'm realizing, even like our parents or like the older generation, they were literally just kids trying to figure shit out on their own with less resources. Like back in the day, I'm telling you, I'm not going to a library and sitting there all day to figure shit out.
But ain't marriages last longer back then?
Yeah,
like
out of
like you know how they say that old school love.
Yeah, out of like comfort, like, we're just gonna figure this out. I may hate you for the second half of our lives, but we're gonna figure this out. Like,
so at that point, you think it's healthier and just better, like when you know this is it, but then when you also know this isn't it, like, yo, it's time to get out.
I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I watched two people cohabitate for 25 years and that's a reflection of my character now, right? So like, I don't need love. I don't need lovey-dovey things. I don't care about PDA. It's like it doesn't do anything for me because I didn't see it. I didn't like observe this growing up. Had my parents had that conversation, listen, this isn't working out. It's probably best if we just split ways, whatever.
Right.
And then they found two people that they actually loved and wanted to be with, and then I got to observe that. I'd probably be a completely different person. I love how I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just I'm playing with the cards I was dealt. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean like you're playing with the cards you were dealt, but that doesn't mean you can't fold and get a new hand.
That's a fact. But that's just life. That's growth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's my point. Like, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with you or trying to change you, but like you said, like, I'm like, it's the way I am, like, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, cool. But if you didn't like how you were, you didn't have to stay that way.
Facts. But you like, you got to also think too, like, women just got rights like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they got them taken away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and they're continuously fighting for it. So it's not like, I feel like it's different back in the day when women got married. It's like, no, I'm literally just expected to have kids and take care of the home. I don't work. I can't provide for myself. If he doesn't provide for me and the family, that's it, right? So the part of that is ingrained in them. And that's a lack of better words, like a curse that needs to be broken.
Bro, that old school mentality,
I like this hat.
It's a black hat.
I know, but so the calf also sells merchandise. This hat would never fit my head, but I like it. Sorry, continue.
Guys, come check out the hat. But like, it's 2022, right? And like you just alluded to, like, women are still fighting for women's rights, which is crazy, right? But it's tough to say, like, yo, you got to get rid of that old school mentality when so many things in society are still old school.
Like what, Anita?
Well, just in general, like women's rights in general. You get what I'm saying? But like, maybe a mom raising her daughter, right? You should wake up and clean the house every Saturday because you are the woman of the house.
The mom is saying this?
Imagine, hypothetically speaking.
But it's interesting because wouldn't the mom be the woman of the house?
Maybe the mom has to go to work. Maybe the mom is trying to teach her daughter those same traditions.
So don't you lead by example? Sorry, this is just what's going through my head because like I have a conscious issue with authority. So it's like if someone's telling me to do something, like, why don't you lead from the front?
No, right. But then also, why don't you break those curses like you just said? You get what I'm saying? Like,
some people just don't know any better. It's a cultural thing.
You know how you malfunction when shit like
doesn't make sense? Yeah.
Like, to me, like it's 2022. Like, how do you not know that certain shit just does not make sense? How do you not know that, like, women's rights, you should have no say on it? How do you know that like there should or should not be certain gun laws? You know, like it obviously to an extent, and those are two very strong and different cases, right?
Vastly different.
Vastly, but you know what I mean? How can you not agree that there still should or should not be some sort of difference in 2022 versus 1982 when some of these laws and rules were being made?
Well, that's tough. You and I are also very opinionated people, so it's like
never.
So it's like, in the grand scheme of things, like we may have our thoughts and our opinions on things, and they may quote unquote be right, but like in the grand scheme of things, like your opinion's just an opinion. I do think I don't understand, and shame on me for not like researching it, but like I just don't understand why the government decided that taking women's rights in 2022 was relevant. Like, of all the things that's happening in the world, why did that come up? Like, you know what? Let's reverse this. Like,
rich white men just trying to control people. That's it.
That shit is crazy. Like, we just went so far back, and you know who's next in the pecking order, right?
Yeah,
colored folk. So
yeah,
it's like
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, because you bring up an interesting point about like when to say things and how to say things, right? We all have the freedom of speech, right? We all have the freedom of speech. My bad. The freedom of speech means you can say whatever you want, but does that mean you always should?
Ooh, this is a great question. This brings me to social media, because I've grown to hate Facebook. I've grown to hate Facebook because it's just a bunch of people who are stating opinions, and like at the grand scale, like who cares? Like if your opinion's not going towards anyone who can make a difference. Like you're just stirring the pot for social media just to do it. So I guess I don't know, in a world where everyone wants to go viral and be relevant in their own way, I don't know. I hate people's opinions. I prefer facts. Like if this is a fact, like we want to talk math, numbers, financial planning, is like facts are facts. Like opinions, like what Kanye said, like opinions are like assholes. Who gives a shit? And if your opinion isn't paying me, or if your opinion isn't trying to help or better me, then like, who cares?
But
like,
why not for the sake of conversation? You know what I mean? Like
some conversations are just a waste of time. Like you ever look at someone's status, like, oh, this is a ridiculous status, and then you take the time out of your day to scroll through the comments, like, wow, people are just being ridiculous on this. Like why would you ever say shit like that? But now it's wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have been doing something productive in this time, and now it's like I got sucked into this vacuum of social media and just mediocre conversation that's not bettering anybody.
And like younger Jake, right? Like 25-year-old Jake will see something and just be like, nah, I'm responding. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like I might type something, believe it or not, because people think I'm impulsive and just say the first thing that comes to mind and I don't give a fuck, but which most of the times I don't. But I'm a very calculated individual for those that actually don't know me.
Yeah. I know that.
Right. Like, let's just get that out there, right? I might type something or I might think it. I'm like, yo, but what's the point? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like, I'm glad you brought social media up because like we have a platform, you know what I mean, that is here to better people.
Yes.
Right? And we actually have a big following, right? And like we could say stuff, and I'm not saying like we're gonna say, hey guys, go stand outside the mayor's house and 1,000 people are gonna go do it, right? Yeah. But we have enough following that if we said something, we're gonna spark a conversation. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, when do I know the right time to say something is if it really bothers me in my heart. You know what I mean? Like if I really can't shake the feeling, if I really like, yo, I gotta say something. Mm-hmm. But more importantly of what I say, it's how I say it, how it's delivered, especially because we have a platform, especially because I'm a coach. I work with teachers. I do all this stuff, right? I might mother F you here and joke, kiki and kaka, but I'm also conscientious in the back of my mind, like, yo, you got to be aware. And sometimes I do forget that. Like, we're all human.
Same.
But I do think that more importantly of what you say is how you deliver it.
That's very true. Because you could, it's kind of like those kids or like those parents who've never played a sport in their life, and then they see,
talk to me,
and then they see their kid getting yelled at or reamed out by their coach, and they're just like, why would you ever talk to them that way? That's not how you communicate. But it's like, nah, you got to understand, we practice this. Like, there's things that you should just know when you're on the field, when you're performing. And it's like, yeah, no, it's my job to hold you accountable and be a better you.
Right.
And those are the type of conversations I want to have. If it's going to be thought provoking, it's going to make me think outside of my comfort zone and give me a different point of view, I'm here for that. But if it's just for like, people who are just trolling and they're just like, saying things just to go viral, things
I'm
that
not buying into that shit.
No, but the fact that you said like a younger Jake would have, my Facebook memories be kicking my ass sometimes. Bro, I'm just like, yo, did I really say this?
And my spelling was atrocious.
Crazy, yeah.
How'd I make it through high school? How'd I get here?
That part.
It's nuts.
But they about to park in front of this fire extinguisher.
Good luck. But even more so, damn, I had a thought. My issue with social media, and I guess it is the point, but people will do anything to get seen. Like bro, I was watching this video.
The 6ix9ines of this generation.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching this video today, and granted, it was creative, but it was these friends. They recreated a Mario Kart video, right, in grocery carts. So they were like pushing each other, and then like one of the guys would hold up a box that they drew, and the kid would grab it, and then it would turn into a banana, and then the kid would throw a banana at some. And I'm like, bro, y'all really spent y'all time like for some likes, for some views.
How old were they?
They were probably like high school kids.
Oh, I mean, that could have been a school project. I mean, you never know. Bro, I look back at some of the pictures and videos and like projects I did in high school, and I'm just like, what was I thinking at this point in time?
It's interesting you say that, because I do get some statuses and I'm like, yo, what the fuck were you thinking? But then I do get some statuses, and my train of thought was also,
I meant that shit.
Bro, it was the same that it is now. Mm-hmm. It might not have been as developed or as in depth, but my train of thought was still the same.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see, like, yo, I really just grew up.
Literally. Like when I talk about like my work ethic and just what I'm willing to do to get to where I want to go, that's nothing new. And it's funny, I had to remind myself through Facebook, and I was just like, oh shit, like I've been like this.
like this is me.
Yeah.
I does this.
Yeah. Like I've had this work ethic ingrained in me, and like I've just had big dreams and big ambition. But it's also, so with that being said, like you and I have some very developed fundamental things that are set in place. So what about the people who want to completely change themselves? So like they got to 25 and they moved outside their city. They live in a whole new state, a bunch of people who don't know them, and they just recreated themselves. Like, what do you think about them?
I respect them. Like I don't know if this answers your question, right? But when I lived in England, one of my roommates, he moved in like months after us, right? And if I'm not mistaken, he was from Chicago, right? And in Chicago, he had won like Athlete of the Year. He was All-American for track and soccer. He was like it.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Moved to England because he was gay, and he couldn't be that back home. So he found out about this program, moved to England, and really didn't care about soccer, and literally just recreated himself.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, one, not saying he ran from what was back home, because he eventually addressed that, but he moved to this whole new place with a bunch of strangers, with nobody that he knew, and started a whole new life. And to me, that's like a whole different level of courage and bravery that like someone who is just comfortable at home doing the same thing over and over again, or wants to get out but chooses not to, right? And it's funny you say that. I have a quote right here that it says, being afraid of doing the wrong thing will keep you right where you are. You know what I mean? And it's like, he could have moved to England and it couldn't have worked out, but he tried.
Yeah. Honestly, power to him. It's funny too, because sometimes I feel like you need that. Like, you need to get out of where you're from, because there's people that I know today who still view me as 18-year-old ridiculous Spencer, and I'm like they'll just bring up old times and like memories. I'm like, all right, cool, we can reminisce, but I'm like, bro, like I'm so far from that.
Facts.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around what I was thinking at that time, other than I was young, ridiculous, and just didn't care.
Right.
But there's still people who view me that way, and I'm just like, I don't know if you deserve to know the new me, because it's gonna take me way too long to explain.
Bro, access is not granted to everybody, and not everybody. I think now that I'm getting older, like, everybody knows me, I'm sociable and I love talking to people and stuff, but like, I don't allow access to everybody to get close to me and know the real me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so funny you say that. I know that about me too. But I'm realizing that it takes, and I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I can't put my finger out, but it takes like a certain person, vibe, energy, essence for me to be like, oh yeah, no, I rock with you.
Facts.
But I don't know. Do you know what that, like, for you? Do you know what that takes?
I know what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, I know when I'm somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, I could fuck with this. You know what I mean? I could fuck with these people, like this vibe, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? But like, take my job, for example, right? I love my job, but not everybody there I can be myself with, right? And it's my job, so you got to play chess. You got to, be politically correct and this, that, the third, all that other bullshit. But not all of y'all get to see this.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And I mean, like, it is what it is, but then I don't think you would be shocked, but I dial it back, but I don't always tone it down. If that makes, Mr. Condi, can you just actually, no, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, actually, nah, like, that's that person's job. Like,
no, but that's in that instance, that's just chain of command. It's funny because I've had something in me since forever, and my mom said it, like, you just don't do anything you don't want to do. And it's like, yeah, I don't. Like, it's just like,
you got me.
Yeah, like, if I don't want to do it, like, I may do it at this point, but you're gonna know I don't want to do it. Whereas, I don't know, other people, they'll do it and they'll just like put on a fake smile and they'll play chess and be politically correct. I'm like, yo, if I can't just be me, unapologetically me, like, that's just draining. Like, cause now I gotta pretend to.
Gotta put on a mask.
Yeah, to appease your feelings. Whereas, like, at the end of the day, I don't really care about them, because I know you don't, like, deep down, you don't care about mine either. Right. So it's like, why are we faking it in front of each other?
Does it bother you when people don't like or value you?
No. Ooh, hold on. Value, if I've brought value to their life and they don't realize it, that could irk me. But if they don't like me, I'm like, oh, like, cool.
Bitch, I don't like you.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? I know not everyone's gonna like me. Chances are I probably don't like. I don't think I like anyone who doesn't like me. Like, naturally, you know.
I could agree.
So, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, like, no, like, I don't hate you. Like, right. I don't think twice about you. Like, I'm not going to go home like, I can't believe this person doesn't like me. But there's also people who do that. And, no shade to you. But
my thing, I don't harp on it. But if you don't like me, I think there's something wrong with you. Like
That's a Jacob thing to do.
that might be the most arrogant thing ever. But like, bro, I can literally function in any atmosphere. I can function in any room. Like 29-year-old Jake is so comfortable in his own skin that I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I genuinely think if you don't like me, you're either jealous of the energy or like you don't have to like want to be my friend.
You peanut butter and jelly.
You know, but I genuinely maybe that's something wrong with me. But
I think there's a certain, and I've been told this, like there's a certain level of like confidence and borderline arrogance you need to like maneuver in certain rooms. Like if you're in a room full of type A people, you kind of have to walk around like you're the shit and then show everyone like, hey, we're all freaking human here.
Facts.
Let's just like stop. Like let's like
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, let's let the facade go and like, hey, listen, we all bleed the same blood.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It I wish I could explain the feeling, but like and part of it is ignorance. I'll admit, like I know deep down I'll always be okay. Like if I go into work tomorrow and get fired, I know that I will have a job by tomorrow night. You know what I mean?
It's the entrepreneur lifestyle.
Like I was talking to Elijah the other day and he's like, yo, I just want stability. And I'm like, yes, stability is the goal, right? Financial security is the goal, blah, blah, blah. But like, who are we if we don't grind? Like all we know is how to grind and hustle. So like find a grind and hustle that you enjoy and just do it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like for us, that's all we know. Like now we're back to podcasting. I'm back to coaching and working. I'm back to doing 3 things, right?
Full time.
I'm happy again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I took so much time off and it was like, bro, what do I do with this?
Facts.
You can only circle jerk for so long.
Man, remember when we first started and we used to just have to use a phone as a camera, set it up, run back around, get in place, and just hope for the best?
Yeah, bro. Now we got some quality and reliability behind the camera. Matter of fact, we live in lavish.
Lavish Life Films, the official videographer of the How'd I Get Here podcast.
Book them for all your videographer and editing needs.
I have a 2-part question, which is like a 3-part question. Have you ever been cheated on? And if you have or haven't, right? Or would you want to know if you've been cheated on? I can give you context if you want.
I could just answer, then you can give me context. I've never been cheated on that I know of. Would I want to know? Yeah, so I can think differently of you. That's it. Cause I don't know. I feel like, and I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I can't really. Like, I've never, because you know, I have self-control or like compassion and empathy for whoever I'm with. But it's also like, you know, everyone grows up in a different situation. I feel like if you cheat on me, it's kind of like, that's interesting. Like,
something's wrong with you. Not you, the them.
It's almost just like, yo, what more do you want? Like, not for nothing. Like, your boy be on it all the time. Like, I'm ready. So I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting. I think if anyone cheated on me, I have an inkling of who it would have been, but I don't know. No one's told me.
You're in the happiest relationship you've ever been in. Everything is perfect.
Dun dun dun.
Old girl cheated. She went to Nashville for a bachelorette party with her friends because apparently that's where everybody goes.
Yeah.
She gave somebody got 3,000.
That's disrespectful. Not only did you cheat on me, you sucked the peen.
Would you want? Everything is good. You get what I'm saying? Everything is good. Would you want to live in this happy, blissful ignorance and not know and carry on, or would you want to know?
Oh, I would definitely want to know, because I'm going to be around your friends that you're on this trip with, looking at me crazy and laughing, knowing like what happened. Nah, because then when I find out, like, you're going to see a different side of me that, like...
Are y'all breaking up?
Ooh.
Don't ever do that in my ear again.
Ooh, that's
Would you want to know
I
if you
feel
got
like-
cheated on?
Yeah, 100%. Are we breaking up? The emotional reactive side of me, which is minimal, is like, yeah. But also it's like you set the stage. This is the happiest, quote unquote, perfect relationship you've ever been in.
How could you love that person the same again?
Because how can you not love someone that, like, period, if you told them that you love them?
Huh?
How can you fall out of love with somebody?
Fucked up.
Is that love then?
Yeah.
I feel like love is unconditional, no?
Love is unconditional, right? But
Unless. Like,
nah, there's no but. I loved you, right? I unconditionally love you no matter what. And then the conditions changed. The circumstances changed.
that's not unconditional then. Like, in my mind, like, if love is real, then love would be unconditional. Like,
He said I could talk my shit now.
like,
He said, fuck all that. All that other shit.
because everyone wants to, like, people fantasize the idea of love and, like, oh my gosh, I just want to feel this, I want to feel that. But it's like, is it quote unquote love if that feeling simmers? I mean, not simmers, if that feeling phases out?
Say that again. Is it real love if the love fades?
Yeah, like, wouldn't love be unconditional? It's like a fire that's going on forever. Yeah, there'll be ups and downs, but it's like, I still love this person. Like how do you fall out of love?
Maybe you were in lust. Maybe you were never really in love.
So that's a dialogue. And I feel like a lot of people may not know the difference between that. And again, I'm not the expert on love here. But I don't know. So if bringing this all back, if this person did this to me, I gotta, like, I'm petty. So, like, I gotta get my lick back.
You gonna cheat back?
I have to. No, I'm not even getting cheat back. Like, we have to have this dialogue. Like, I need to get one back too.
Get what?
I need to get
what?
like you did your thing in Nashville. If this is gonna, like, maintain, like, I need to get my lick back. So you gotta let me get a hall pass for a weekend, and now we're
that's
even.
gonna make you feel better.
Yeah, my petty side probably. Yeah. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's just sex. Like, it's just sex. People.
No, because sex is just sex, right? But I now know how to differentiate the two.
Yes. So it's like, okay, the difference is, right, is this like a whole bachelorette trip and some guy you've been plotting on for years goes and then you slept with him? Or did you sleep with, like, some random person at the bar because you were drinking and you were stupid?
Nah, but, well, this is twofold, right? Mm-hmm. One, I know how to differentiate having sex with just a random person versus I actually want to have sex with you. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, differentiate the two, right?
Got it.
But then also, I almost feel like if you went out and just had, like, some meaningless sex, right? You didn't actually care about me. Like, regardless of if you were drunk or not, you know, like, where to draw the line. Like, yo, this dick should not be in my mouth. You get what I'm saying? Like, you should not. You should not have.
If you cheat and suck dick, like, that's
a double whammy.
That's
two
nuts
strikes?
to me. It's like,
It is nuts because the dick. I'm a chill.
it's like, cause, like, if I'm a cheat, I'm not eating nobody, but whatever. That's there's a dialogue to be had. I hate when people just immediately say, nah, like, they're done. I'm done here. Like, bro, like, if this was, like, really deep, like, there should be some dialogue to be had.
I don't know if I could forgive you.
I know you couldn't. Like, I don't think you could stay with a partner who cheated. I don't think I would tell anybody. Like, that would be something between us.
Bro, if I ever cheated,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm taking that to the grave. Like I'm not even telling my homies.
That's real. If you ever cheat, that goes against like everything.
Me.
Yeah, that
Like
goes
I gotta be a new person. I gotta change my name, my address. Like,
if you just up and leave and move overseas, I'm like, oh, that nigga cheated.
Oh, he did the thing. But is it cheating if you're out of the country?
Yeah.
Bro, somebody told me the other day there was like a code to cheating.
So I know some old heads who feel that way. Like if I'm out the country, like yeah, something along those lines.
Well,
That's interesting. Are we married or dating?
seriously dating. Nah, if we're married and you cheat, I'm taking everything. I'm leaving you with sheets. Bed sheets and that's it.
But I feel like more of a dialogue needs to come if you're married.
You cheated.
So okay, all right, let's have this conversation. So if your partner cheats on you,
Give me the clap. Yeah, thank you.
if your partner cheats on you, do you have some fault in it?
If yes and no.
Okay.
If you were being a good, loyal, faithful partner, right? To your knowledge, you think you're meeting their needs, doing everything. What more could I have done? Right? It's not my fault you cheated. You did not voice that you were unsatisfied. You did not voice that I could be doing X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? Now, if you tell me like, yo, I want you to, instead of going out every Sunday to football with the guys, maybe every other Sunday, right? But I'm still going every Sunday. I chose to neglect those feelings. You get what I'm saying? I ignored you. Then yes. But if the person who did the cheating does not voice that, yo, I'm about to cheat.
So I think
You got to try before you cheat.
yeah, I get that. So, but I also think because you and I are both very good at picking up on energy. So I feel like you'll know if your partner isn't like satisfied or something's like a little off. And even if it's like when y'all are doing the do or like on a day to day, like if there gets to like this complacency and like there isn't a dialogue happening or like, I mean, I can pick up on a facial expression. I'm like, oh no, this is a little bit off. I feel like it's also your job if you know your partner is a little more reserved. Yeah, like, hey, so like, what's going on here?
You just said something. If my partner is a little more reserved, is it my job to speak for you?
Never, but
because if I ask you, hey, do you want shrimp or chicken tonight? Well, I don't know. I don't care. And I make chicken. But babe, I want a shrimp. Well, you didn't. I fucking asked you.
Oh no, then you're a dub. Yeah, no.
You get what I'm
I don't
saying?
give a fuck about that. Yeah.
Like, I gave you the option. I asked you. I inquired. Yada yada yada.
It's more so. It's more so if you have a strong personality and you know your partner is a little more go with the flow, reserved, and they may not always speak up for themselves, but this is your partner. Like, you know this about them. So it's like, it's kind of, you know, ignorance is bliss, but you also have a certain responsibility when you know things. So like, if you know this about your partner, it's like, it's also your responsibility to speak up, because if you don't, now you know you could have done something to change this reaction. I'm not saying what they did was right, but I'm saying that you had it.
Or that might lead to you cheating.
I don't know what it would take for me to cheat.
Not you. I'm saying like, if you were the dominant or the more assertive one, and the less assertive one was not speaking up, and you're trying to help, and they don't speak up, that might lead to you being like, you know, I'm fucking tired of this.
I'm also comfortable. Yeah, I get that. You know what? I think people just need to find whoever they're comfortable having whatever dialogue with, regardless how uncomfortable it may be. Because if I get to a point in a relationship where I feel like I want to sleep with other people, I'm just going to bring that up. like it kind of just, people may think that's weird, but I think it's weird that you're gonna hold that to yourself.
But and obviously polyamorous relationships and things are a thing, right? But if you go into this relationship monogamously, right? It's just y'all two, and then you just wake up and say like, "Yo, I want more people." Doesn't that kind of mean your partner's not satisfying you? Like you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. Right. You didn't just wake up say like you didn't go into this relationship like, "Yo, I love you, but I want to keep smashing people." You hear what I'm saying? You went into this relationship. I like you. And now I still like you, but I want other people because you're not meeting my needs.
I don't know if it's meeting. Well, yeah. I for the longest time, I thought it was interesting that you could be with one person for the rest of your life. Like, you got to think, there's people who get married in high school or like right after high school, and they've only been with this one person for their entire life. That's
boring.
Not even boring. It's just
stupid.
Mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling to me because it's like, I feel like you didn't experience life. You went to high school with this person.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You and I have both experienced 2 different lives, but experienced a lot of life in 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? If you were dating someone of lesser experiences, right? How does it look like how do you stop yourself from trying to say like, hey, you should do this, or you're like imposing your life experiences on that person? Because you do want that person to live it up. You know what I mean? But you also can't live for somebody. You can't force somebody to do stuff they don't know or want to do. Or maybe that person is just not for you.
I think it's just simply that. Because you know how they say opposites attract, but it's also like, yeah, okay.
I don't think I've heard it. I disagree.
Okay,
I disagree.
I think it's just a compatibility thing, and it's like if I've lived, say in my 30 years, I've lived the amount of like 60 of your years, and you're still in your 20s. It's kind of like, I don't know, like I'm backtracking here now. Like I've already, do you watch The Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is perfect.
Last season sucked, but
what? It didn't suck, but it whatever.
Yeah.
So 5, right?
Yeah.
The reason why he is the way he is because like, y'all, I've already lived
done this
so many different times. It's like I don't have the time to explain this to you because I've already done it.
Right.
And I know like the outcome, so you have to figure it out for yourself. Me telling you isn't going to help you.
So let me ask you one last question before we wrap up. You know how they say you have to meet people where you're at? Meet people where...
You need to meet me where meet you where you're at. Meet people where they're at.
Okay. If I meet you where you're at, right? If I'm further and you're behind, how does that work out?
You just have to be like a resource, It's like,
right, but we're in a relationship. I can't be a fucking library for you.
And but some guys like that. Some like men who date younger women, I'm convinced they like that. I have a friend right now who's talking to a 34-year-old and they're 24. I'm like, there's nothing this man could there's just not certain conversations like we're not resonating on.
Right.
I've lived 10 more years than you. You're still figuring life out in your 20s. Like your 20s is really just like shaping you and kind of deciding how everything else is going to be.
Facts.
So someone who is 10 years older than you, who's already gone through that, wanting to go through that again, that's an interesting trauma response I would want to get to the bottom of.
Bro, that's my point. How do you meet somebody where they're at if you've already passed it? Like, I think that says more.
Well, because that's just where they're at.
Right, that's where you're at, but I also need to be patient. I need to not impose. I need to allow you to get to where you want to be. Like, where you're at, right? If it's that far behind, I don't think it can work.
But see, that's us. Whereas there are people who want a relationship with an older person because they want that insight. Maybe they're not getting that insight from their friends or from their family, and they're just like, yeah, I want to date an older person because they've already experienced it. and I don't know what I'm doing. I would love someone who could guide me. Whereas I don't want to be a guide.
So, okay, so what does that say about the older person that dates the younger person?
Maybe they just...
Maybe it says more about acceptance. I think when they say you need to meet people where they're at, that means you need to accept.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there could be a person who, not that like social status really matters, but it's like there could be a person who's 35 and they weren't the coolest person growing up, but you know, they have a great job, they're really smart, they got everything going for them, and then they meet someone in their 20s who is still figuring things out, but they have a lot of potential. Like, oh, I can groom this person. Like, hey,
That's
I know
wild to me.
I
get it. I agree with you.
It's wild, but it's like that's also kind of a harmonious relationship. This person wants insight and guidance. This person wants to give it and groom. And now it works. It's not what I'm looking for, but...
I think that's what it is. Because it's not what I'm looking for, I can't...
It's mind-boggling.
I'm like, you know, I can't resonate with it. Because for me, it's like, I'm not done growing. So I need you to water me the same way I'm watering you.
That part, it has to be mutually beneficial. Like, I love someone I can learn from. Like, and it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. I just want to be able to learn something from you.
Like, at this point in my life, and I'll end with this before we get to our ending remarks. Like, yes, we've had X amount of sex, right? Like, sex is great, but I need you to fuck me mentally. Like, I actually need to be stimulated. Like, I have to want to be around you. Mm-hmm. As much as I like to talk, I need to want to talk to you and actually care about what you're saying. And like, if you don't have anything to say, contribute, or anything that I care about, it's like,
yeah, I have to value your opinion,
right?
Because like we were talking about before, there's so many silly opinions that get posted just for likes or attention. I have to value your opinion and like, oh yeah, no, this makes sense, right?
And I try not to make myself bigger than anyone or say I'm better. Like, you know, like that's not me.
Yeah.
But there are times it's like, bro, I don't want to hear. Like, I'm cool.
And listen, as a person, there's no need to backtrack. Like, if you've gotten to a certain place, like going backwards just hinders your growth,
Facts.
Which is going to hinder that person because now you're going to be resentful of yourself and them.
Yeah. Well, shit. This was a dope first episode.
Gang, gang.
We're here live every Tuesday. Live, but not live. But every Tuesday recording. You guys come down to the CAF 229 Trumbull Street. I don't know what that was. But this is our home for this season. There's bigger, better things, a lot of things that you guys don't know. But definitely come down here, check them out. They were our home over when we were at the Reset Studio, and they were kind enough to give us another home here. So if anyone wants to maybe use this space for podcasting, there may be room for that in the future as well. But stop down here, shop, talk to the guys down here, guys and gals, I should say. They're dope people, dope space. And with that, we could give our 15 seconds of fame and wrap it up.
Yeah. Damn, I don't really have a 15 seconds of fame.
Shit for us today. No starting question, no nothing.
I had a starting question.
I had the question.
Yeah. You decided to. Either way. I guess my 15 seconds of fame is I'm happy to be back. We had a little hiatus. I think we all needed to reflect and like recalibrate after the live episode. I feel like a public apology is necessary, but
no, it's
I'll
not.
Do-
It's not. I'm not taking shit back. I'm tired of people. Bro, LeBron James said the other day that if he was Brittany Griner, right, when she gets released, she should feel like, why would I want to come back to the States, right? And he explained that, like, bro, she's been there for over 160 days. She's been in Russia since February, and we've done nothing.
Can we have a quick sidebar about this? Because you and I have totally different views on this.
But my right. So after LeBron said what he said, he got backlash, and then was like, oh, well, this is what I meant. You know, I'm here for America. Like, nah, my nigga, she is a black gay woman in the States. If it were you or Tom Brady, they would have got your ass out and we would have never known about it.
But the black and gay and a woman has nothing to do with that.
No, but my thing is the way they're treating her, bro.
She's a Russian citizen.
She's not a citizen.
Yes, she is.
She's an American.
She has dual citizenship.
Bro, here's my thing. If LeBron James was locked, I understand he's an American citizen.
Okay.
If LeBron James was locked up for weed,
yes,
in Russia, do you not think he would already be home?
LeBron's bag is bigger than hers.
She is the equivalent to him in the WNBA.
Yeah, but the WNBA compared to the NBA contract,
and that's,
it's not even relatable.
Right, and that's part of the issue. The WNBA women's basketball, I mean, is it as entertaining? No, sponsorships, all that shit. I get it, right? I understand the business that goes into it. I get that side of it. You cannot compare the two.
Bro.
However, should she still be locked up in Russia?
I'm not saying she should be, but you know one thing that colored folk like to, you know, be like, oh,
colored folk.
Yeah, it's like, yo, we want to pick
you
and
speaking
choose.
French? He said we.
We want to pick and choose like things that aren't as bad, and like she's in a different country and she broke the law. If you're in Dubai and you're holding hands, you can be locked up. Like just because that's their culture, like you fucked up. Like you got to take that L.
But there's also more that goes into it. Like, bro,
we want to make it more, but bro,
if they weren't at war trying to make a point, I also guarantee you, like, bro, we're wrapping up, so we can't go into this. Maybe we should have let off with this.
We can start the next episode.
Yeah,
that
we'll pick up where we left off. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I hear you, but I don't agree.
She should not. Whether she broke the now if she's out there murdering, bro, she had weed.
But this is what I'm saying. You're American and you're privileged. It's like in a different country, she broke a law. Like regardless of the severity you think it should be, it's severe in that country.
Bro, she could, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 10 or 20 years.
Bro, that's their law.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy.
So you should know this going in. You're a professional athlete.
But here's my thing. We could do things to get her out.
So like we need to bend the rules because you're an idiot?
Yes.
No, bro. Hold that out. It's like if that's the case, but like, listen, I think it's messed up what's happening. But at the end of the day, as an adult, as an icon, as a professional athlete, and as a dual citizen of that country.
See, I didn't know she had Russian citizenship.
Yeah. So it's like
she also had a doctor's note.
So you should already know what time, like the
doctors.
Yeah, but like the same way a Russian doctor can't practice in the U.S., them laws don't matter, bro. So it's like,
all right.
But that's my 15 seconds after you.
I do not support the How'd I Get Here podcast. Does not support his message.
It's a fact. I don't support what's happening, but like facts are facts.
Listen, nothing in this life is given. You have to earn every single thing. And rent, what's that saying? Rent is paid every day or some shit. I fucked everything up. Go get a bag, bro. That's my 15 seconds. Go get it. No days off. Grind, but also rest. Treat yourself. Love yourself.
Ooh,
and that's a wrap on the best fucking podcast in CT. And y'all be safe.